If you're going to Riftbound pre-release and you don't know which legend to play, this video is going to save you some time and help you win some games. A lot of players think that pre-release is all about luck, but actually that's not really entirely correct and sometimes completely wrong. In this video, I'm going to break down the best legends you can play at your pre-release event for Spirit Forged. I'm going to tell you what each legend does well, what kind of pull they want, and when you should actually choose them. If you're trying to win games at your pre-release, not just learn the rules, you're in the right place. And if you missed my previous video where I go over the structure, the rules, and some recommendations, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description so you can watch that, because you definitely need to watch that video so you can understand what I'm talking about here. Let's get into it. Hey guys, just a quick update. When this video was originally recorded, we did not have a full idea of what or which legends are going to be in the mini pre-constructed deck for Spirit Forged. So I actually ranked all 12. Now that we know which legends are going to be in the pre-riff kit, but now I just want to quickly break down what's coming in the pre-riff kit. You're actually going to have an option of getting randomly Rek'Sai. You're going to have Irelia, Jax, Lucian, Renata, and Ezreal. The way I'm ranking them still applies for those 6 mini precons. But let's get back to the video. Thank you. Irelia, everyone knows she's dominating in China right now. So when you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust me and pay 1 power and ready it. When you conquer, you may pay 1 to ready me. Let's start off with just her first top level ability, right? So the fact that when you just choose a friendly unit, you can exhaust her and then pay 1 power to ready it. So it's kind of like a built-in accelerate. Remember, accelerate, I think, is one of the best keywords in the game right now. And if you have a spell that can buff them or do something, well, then you're targeting them. Now you can go ahead and use her ability by exhausting her, cycle that power, and now that unit's ready, now you can go in and conquer. That's extremely powerful. That's going to give you some great tempo in a pre-release. Also, you do have the ability when you do conquer, you could pay 1 energy and ready me. So this is a great way to go in and conquer, especially if you think that your opponent might kill them next turn with a spell that targets battlefields. You can bring them back, right? So Irelia, I think, is going to be extremely powerful in this format. She's just good. Her abilities, again, there's no questions or ambiguity around what if I don't have this or not, which when we go to the maybe tier, you'll understand what I'm talking about. These are just set in stone. If this is there, you do it. So it's very good. Next up, we have Renata. Now, we're talking about Renata. We got to understand how she works, right? So when you hold or an ally, so the ally part doesn't count. So this is really, think about it for the pre-release. This when you hold, you may exhaust me and play a gold token exhausted. While your score is within 3 points of your victory score, your gold add is 1 additional. So at the beginning, when you're like at 4 or less points, you're just gonna exhaust her and then get a gold. But once you're at 5 or higher, you're gonna be able to generate 2 golds. Now, the thing about her is that you have to hold. So her strategy is gonna be a little bit different. Like Draven and Irelia might be conquer decks and then bring back, right? She's going to be all about holding type, right? So for her, you're probably going to go more Voltron style units out on the board. Play the unit out, equip a weapon onto it or a gear on it, whatever it is. There's going to be tons of gears in the game. We don't know how much you're going to have, but we know that the ability, if you're going to be playing her mechanic is about holding, you want to buff up those units, send them into the base, hold, and then generate gold tokens. Obviously, I probably don't think it matters as much at the very beginning because a lot of people's units are kind of bad in this format, and sometimes you're going to be betrayed. I think where you really want to start taking advantage of that Voltron style, where you're just pimping out your units, it's around that turn, like when you're around 3 to 4 points, because now you have enough runes. You start getting your gold engine going, and then that gold is just going to give you so much money to help pay for those powers. So you're no longer cycling your runes, you're cycling the treasures. So you keep building your units and you can get to those bigger units and eventually just keep holding and win the game. So that's kind of the idea. Again, Her ability is straightforward. There's no if, there's no what if, right? It's just if you hold, you get a gold. If you're within 3, you get another additional gold, which is extremely powerful in a limited format because since there's not a lot of removal, and let's say you have a large Voltron unit where you attach 3 gears and it has like 9, 10 might, well, it's going to be very hard for your opponent to kill you if they don't have any spells that can kill them, right? And it's going to be hard to kill them with units, right? Because your unit's so powerful, they're going to have to send 3, 4 units just to take you out. So that's okay. You're willing to do trades. And guess what? Your gear comes back. Well, just put it onto another unit, use the gold that you earn, make another unit powerful and go in again, right? That's the idea. All right, next up we have is Jax. Now, Jax is a very unique legend. His ability says here, pay 1 and tap him. You can attach a detached equipment you control to a unit you control. So for 1 energy, you can tap him and then you can just attach any kind of equipment to one of your units. That's actually extremely powerful because if you look at the card, it says you got to pay 1 power for most of them and then put that equipment. So his ability is better. Also, he also says just by exhausting him, you can move an equipment to something else. So think about this. This is actually going to end up happening is that you can, let's say you already attached equipment, you go and conquer a battlefield. Let's say Jax was up, you're going to exhaust him. You had another unit that's ready, you're going to move that equipment to him, then you go into the other battlefield, start a showdown, and you conquer. That is extremely powerful. You're bouncing around your equipment. This is very, very good. Green, again, we have good equipment in green. Orange, there's some decent equipment, but remember, you get to play 3 domains, so you can probably run yellow, which has some good spells and also some good equipment as well. I think all the colors have pretty good equipment. I think the only one I would say is purple, but we'll talk about all the equipment and spells in another video. Next up we have is Rek'Sai. Now Rek'Sai says, when you conquer, you may exhaust me to reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. You may play one of them, then recycle the rest. Just because of the fact that you can just exhaust them to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, because sometimes there are going to be situations where your hand, you're looking at it like, dude, I can't do nothing really right now with this hand. So this gives you the ability when you go into Conquer to draw those top 2 cards, and maybe you'll have a unit that you can play. Maybe there will be a spell that you absolutely need to take out an opponent, right? Because they're threatening maybe a game point win. Maybe you were just fishing for that sweet signature spell. Maybe you're going to be fishing for a good gear that you need, right? So that's where he comes in. Now, being able to search your main deck is actually really good. But the problem is this is kind of like, it's not guaranteed, right? Or let me know in the comments, where would you think Rek'Sai has? I think his ability, the fact just to allow you to scry is extremely powerful in a limited format because it allows you to fish the cards. But then you also have the randomization of it, right? You just don't know what card will pop up eventually. Now, if you had other cards in your deck in the previous turn that allow you to kind of adjust the deck on the top, and you know there's a really powerful card on the top, well, then definitely you want to try to conquer so that you can exhaust them, play that card, and, you know, take advantage or get that tempo back. So I think he's very good. I think the colors are good. I love yellow. We tend to have a lot more better spell removal in yellow as well as in red. So for a pre-release, he might be good. Now, keep in mind, guys, you don't always need to run the legends, so we'll talk about that soon. All right, next up we have Lucian. He says, your equipment gives assault, +1. Now, someone's going to say, yo, why don't you have him higher? Because that thing's just guaranteed. Well, it's not that the ability is the problem. Yes, you have equipment, but the variability comes from what if you don't get much equipment? What if you get 3 pieces of equipment? Does it really matter much that you can get assault with it? I don't think so. Now, red, great domain to be in. Orange is, I think, okay. And then if you pulled pretty good, decent gear, then you probably might want to go green. Then yeah, I think it might be good. But again, there's where the unknown is at. You want to do unknowns before any kind of guarantees in general type of TCGs. So because it's so unknown on how much equipment you're going to get, his ability is not going to be as great. But I still have him in the maybe, because you could have a fire equipment pool. You have some good units that are around 3 to 4 runes, and then you can just start dropping equipment, Voltroning them up, and then go conquer battlefields, and then start holding just because you just Voltron. Your opponent didn't draw many removal, you're just going to win the game. But it's a coin flip. It depends on what happens. Now let's actually move on to the no tier, and I'm going to call it right now. Sorry, y'all. Ezreal, I'm sorry. No. You're not going to play Ezreal. I think if you pull him, I just don't think you're going to do it. Why? Because his ability here says draw 1 if as a reaction. Use only if you've chosen enemy units and or gear twice this spell with turns or unit abilities. Okay. So we all know in a limited format, and I don't know how many times you'll have the ability to actually cast 2 spells. I just don't. And then if you do, then you can do the reaction to draw 1. Now, drawing cards is very, very good. I'm not going to lie. But the hard part is enemy. It's enemy units and or gear. So most enemy spells that you need to target, your enemies are going to be spells that kill them or reactions that, basically give them a debuff to lowers their might, or has to be something that kills the gear. Sure, there's gear removal, but there's not much. Of course, you might have some units abilities that can do something, but the fact that you can have 2 in a turn, I think is very, very unlikely in this format. And because of that, he's in the no tier. And I think some people are going to fight me on this one. And I would love to hear your comments. So go ahead and hit me in the comments. I would love to see why do you think Ezreal is probably going to be better. I just don't. I have him in the no tier. If I get him in my little Minium Champion pack, he's immediately going to go to the no pile. And hopefully I pull a legend like Draven. If not, I'm going no legend. That's it. I'm just going to tell y'all that right now. And guys, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that comment, like, and subscribe. Anything you do helps me a lot. Also, if you're also new to TCGs and you need to get some deck boxes, go ahead and use my TCG HQ at Heavy Play. You can get 10% off your order and get some cool swag at the same time. All right, so let's go ahead and recap. Irelia, again, if you can target one of your units, basically cycle of power, you give your unit built-in accelerate, I think busted. One of the best keywords in the game. Renata, again, just has you the ability, if you have a hold strategy and you're going to Voltron style, you're going to hold, you're going to generate gold. When we're close to scoring, you're going to generate 2 gold. And then your units are just going to get so big and you can play big units and just keep on holding. It's really good. We have Jax up here. His ability is really good. The fact that you can pay an energy to attach equipment to your units, and then once he's ready to again, you can move the weapons around, so you can really take advantage of killing your opponents, because you're giving your units power to go kill them, and then moving that weapon to go kill something else. It's extremely good. So this is the maybe tier, okay? Then Rek'Sai, again, he's definitely has a good ability to allow you to draw a card or scry. Basically, you got top 2, play 1. That is a good ability, but it is going to be very conditional because you just don't know what's going to be on the top of the deck. It's a very good ability to cycle and hopefully pay for something, because there are going to be scenarios where you don't have an ideal hand, or you maybe didn't properly build your deck with the proper curve. He can help fix that. But again, we're putting him in the maybe pile. And then we have Lucian in the maybe tier as well. His equipment gives you assault. But again, same as Orin. You just don't know. What if you don't have good equipment? Well, it's not going to be any good. But if you do get good equipment, then it's extremely good. And then going into the no tier, Ezreal, I think it's just very hard to get 2 spells or do something to your opponent's gear twice with spells or unit abilities in a turn, just to be able to do a reaction to draw a card. Drawing cards is great. It's hard to achieve that. You might achieve that one time in an entire game. I just don't think it's good. This is going to be, if you have that and you have no other legends, I would recommend play no legend, get that extra card draw at the beginning of the game. All right, and that is everything. Me ranking the pre-release legends for Spirit Forge. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. And anyways, we'll be doing a couple more videos on this. We're probably going to be looking at some of the signature spells and the champion units, and kind of just give you my opinion on how they would work in the upcoming videos leading up to the pre-release. We're not that far away, so If you haven't signed up with your LGS, go ahead and use Riftbound events and start looking at which LGSs are going to be having the events. The events are going to happen during the weekend of February the 6th through February the 13th, I believe. So make sure you get those pre-release. The bulk of LGSs are probably going to have pre-release on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Then you'll have some LGS that'll sprinkle it in through the week leading up to the release weekend. But anyways, thanks for your time. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.